I met my first love in the past. He was a farmer. I was someone older than he. We spent an entire summer swimming and playing among those rocks. We got into a fight at the end of the season. We, frustrated and young, did not want to change with the weather. We both went off and married other people. And though we have never been lovers, there are still evenings when I smile at how beautiful it was to be by the river and wrapped in the arms of a strong-boned man. Lately, I have been thinking of my grandson. I have been remembering when he was a little boy, and like his father before him, I'd help him collect baby frogs along the river, and then we'd sit there on the water's edge with them jumping all around us. I think of his parents who died, shot in an embrace in that water. And I bear in mind his late wife, Nancy, who I am sorry I never got to see swim with my grandson in the river. When I picture her and her mother flying bird, I think of all the mistakes that we as Southerners make. I still remember my daddy's slaves. And then I smile. And I cry. And I mourn over my younger days. Gentlemen, please do not drown the walnut tree in front of my daddy's cabin. Every time I look at it, I see all my boys. Miss MacJenkins sat down, and Frederick put his big head on her hip. All in favor of the dam, say aye, the chairman said. All the board members said aye. I guess I was headed to a funeral, Mrs. MacJenkins snuffled. She tapped Frederick gently on the head and pointed to the chairman of the board. Like a winged griffin, Frederick jumped 9 feet up over the board's table, sinking his teeth into the chairman's neck. It snapped! Following Frederick's flight, Onyx came bellowing onto the oak table, taking another member by the face and ripping his head off. Simon Donald ran to the door and opened it up, letting Captain and Whitey and Walt into the room to join the rebellion. One board member whipped out his gun and was about to shoot Frederick, but Captain flew like a supercharged magnet to him. The leopard shepherd snapped his jaw so tightly on the man's wrist that he dropped the gun and let loose a blood-curdling cry. Heard by this tourist down the street. Captain held on! Onyx and Whitey grabbed the remaining supervisors. Then Frederick, in a slow, gentle, humane manner, came to each living official. One by one, he grabbed them by the neck, giving it a quick, life-ending crunch and lick. Fit made a run for it, but Walter caught him by his breeches on his way out the door. Frederick was about to put an end to him when old Lady MacJenkins snapped her fingers. He halted. Alistair hobbled up to the white trash. Margaret, crying, obediently stood by her father. And as if he were hitting a perfectly placed baseball, Alistair swung his side. The silver blade made a beautiful new moon shimmer as it flashed through the air, sunk perfectly in the Fit's left ear, and then poked up the right. She declared we'd flood the pass over her dead body. She meant it. When the feds arrived to her cabin to haul her away, her dogs gave no sign of cooperation. They shot Frederick in the foot, right as he ripped off a man's arm. Captain in the stairwell, as he tore a man's Adam's apple. Whitey in the upstairs hallway, as he ran out of his spare room and neutered a sergeant. They couldn't open up her bedroom door, though, for Onyx was leaned against it. Even after shooting through it, they still had a hard time pushing aside that bear beast. When they entered her chamber, there she was, sitting up in bed, a dying Alistair by her side, Walter dutifully at its end. She held the flintlock pistol from the Revolutionary War in her lap. Sheriff Wyman, with tears in his eyes, stepped forward. Elise, it is time to leave. To hell it is, Wineland, she thundered, cocking her flintlock and pointing it right at him. You'll have to shoot me to drag me out of here. But if you do, let me warn you. Let me warn you all. My map-like face will haunt you for the rest of your days. I've been a part of Concord and the Fork River a long time. My soul is rooted here enough to stick around a few extra seasons. So go ahead, old friend. Shoot me. We're sticking it out. Sheriff Wyman stepped back. The feds didn't know what to do. They were filled with a stupor, as if they'd been inebriated by one of Mrs. MacJenkins' magical concoctions. Now leave me to mourn over Concord, Virginia. When the flood arrived to her cabin, it was not like the one discussed in Genesis. This water did not fall from the sky. It was slow and creeping, inching its way, the surface like a plate of glass. The water immortalized them. Simon Darnley, looking through his telescope from the top of Dead Man Mountain, reported that she and Alistair emerged from her cabin as the water started to claim Methuselah, the black walnut tree. She helped them as they scaled the nailed-on ladder planks, slowly making their way to its highest branches. And there, high above Indian Pool, they rested, prayed to God, then pulled up the rope swing with their old, feeble hands. They jumped, sailing through the air like a pendulum, releasing themselves at its most distant and highest point, arms opening like the wings of a dove while clutching each other's hands. The ancients then, for old time's sake, gave that wild river one last